Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Nishmasi Mimarosi Ruspas Mordechai. Hamokim Yerachem Eschem B'Sich Shar Veilatzim Yerushalayim, to our good friend Yogi Shkoyach for coming. He's on Shloishim, right off a plane. I thought you were going to land at 6:30.
Landed 5:30.
Landed early. Wow.
They didn't change the clocks yet.
So check this out. Yogi Lashinsky, he's the one that started the whole Minarot HaKotel years back. He's in charge of it today with his good friend Soli, and he invited us to do a Shiur at the Kotel this Sunday. So the Hebrew Shiur, don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to schlep out of bed at 7 in the morning. The Hebrew Shiur, 9 o'clock, is on the, we're going to call it the Minarot HaKotel. It's but it's on the roof. What is it? What is that place what is it called? How do people, that's your offices over there. So where are they going to go? They'll find it?
They'll find it.
They'll find it. It's the closest thing to the plaza.
Parallel to the
Kosel. It's right, if you look at the Kosel and then you turn around and we're on the first, it's one floor up?
3 floors.
3 floors up. 3 floors up. Okay? You shkoyach for that. What?
Also, no, he didn't go to the Kosel before.
I never do.
Rabbi Isai from Dov Harris and his friends in England, 23 Blat, you've got this. Mesechtes Makis, starting Thursday, the 10th of April. Join DafYomi.com. So there's a few chidushim for join.dafyomi.com. First of all, Oiz V'Hadar put out a special edition with the logo, but here it is. When you open it up, this is the very, very first time, and we're doing this in the English as well. There's instructions for Daf Yomi learners. It's amazing. For instance, it's not about the Daf, it's about the Yomi. What happens if you miss a Daf? What do you do? Instructions. It's for new people, how to stick to it. And it's written beautifully. A lot of people put a lot of work, Benny and this, in a very simple language. It becomes, yeah, in English. And then on the second side, you have a luach, MDY luach, where you could say what you did, what you didn't do, v'chula v'chula. It's givaldik. So this is this. Now I want to show you another thing before I forget. Another big, we'll make a break here, but a big monumental achievement: 25,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is huge. We have a lot of subscribers on other places, but on this platform, because for us, it's a big thing, because we started with YouTube and we needed to get to 1,000 in order to stream live, and we couldn't, and it was hard, and we finally got there. That's how I met Meir Planka in Yeshua, but Yeshua was part of it. Meir Planka was in a Svarim store and I asked him to do it. Now he's a big part of MDY. Rabbi Isai watched this year together in the Beis Medrash again. Once a month, you should RSVP in Brooklyn sushi and pizza. But I gotta show you this video.
Lakewood asked, it's not ready, but
Lakewood also is going to do a get-together Givaldik. My very, very good friend, Ari Haas, I know him from Chicago. He lived in Chicago back then, now he lives in New York. He came to me a long time ago, over a year ago, and he says he has a dream. His dream is to get an art scroll to agree to put nikudas, just like my Gemara that I use, the Oiz V'Hadar, the nikudas here. Let me show you how it looks. Nikudas in the Gemara, in Rashi, in Taisvus, to get art scroll to put it in the side that they have the Gemara side. They have the art scroll with the Pirush, and then they have a regular Gemara. Put the nikudas in the regular side. Why not? It'll help people read quicker and easier and this and that. He went. It's Famaritzim. Well, who else uses art scroll? Us Amaritzim. Us. I also use art scroll. So he went and he spoke to them, and Rabbi Gedalia Zlotowitz was masking to do a trial from Mesechtes Makis. And Ari said he's going to donate to MDY. I'm not going to tell you how many, but let's just say over 4,000 Gemaras he's donating to MDY. Over. I'm not going to tell you the exact number because it's way more than that. And here's a video of Ari. This is Ari, the first person you see on right over here. This is Ari in the Art Scroll factory. And this is the very, very first one. And we're going to get one, Be'ez Hashem, in 1 or 2 days. Well, we got to get it quickly because I'm going to America next week. Look at this. Nekudas in our scroll. It's a different color. It's a special edition. It's brown. And here it is, printed with the MDY insert, with the calendar, with the rules. It's unbelievable. Tremendous, tremendous. Imamish worked hard. I spoke to Reb Gedalia yesterday also. They said they want to do it for the rest of Shas. They have a major issue because Reb Feinstein, he said that, not Reb Moshe, Reb David, who's Reb David? No. Reb Reuven Feinstein. Reb Reuven Feinstein said that he prefers that it should be the Tzur Sadaf, because Oiz v'Hadar, the first word and the last word is from the Daf, but everything in between they rearrange the words. That's why a lot of times when I tell you there were 13 lines from the bottom, it's really 12. It's because I'm doing the Oiz v'Hadar Nekudas. So they want to do Nekudas, Artsville Nekudas, to figure out a way to do it in the regular Tzur Sadaf. That's what they're struggling with. And Be'ez Hashem, they're going to roll out the rest of the Shas as it comes out. So that was his shmooze. What was this? Check this email out from a 9-year-old. Hello, Eli Stefansky Shlita. The Daf has changed my life. Literally. When I have a bad day, I know there's something I can look forward to. I want to thank Reb Official Gross for getting me to do the Daf without even knowing that I was doing it. When I first heard about his program, I got a little upset that you have to be at least 10 years old to do it. But I'm doing it anyways. And I haven't missed a day since the beginning of Sanhedrin. Big shout out to my great uncle, Reb Chanan Pressman. I think the Oilam's going to get together. At the end of the day, they're going to get together. They're going to give him like a Nesina. I don't know how much. A Nesina for a 9-year-old. I want to thank Reb Nachman Seltzer for his bracha at the Shabbaton to me to become a Talmud. Promise you here. Read it. I'm not making this up. Here it is. Wow. For his bracha at the Shabbaton for me to become a Talmud Chacham. Listen, not 9 months later. The next month after the Shabbos, night Suda, I got an urge to learn something extra and finish the whole Masechta Sanhedrin Mishnayos over Shabbos. It worked. The brachas worked. Barcheni. Oh man. Shkoyach. I met you at the Shabbaton. Now you tells me. I met you at the Shabbaton and I hope you come to Baltimore soon so I can meet you again. Yisrael Hefter, 9 years old from Baltimore, Maryland. Rabbi, so we're going to go straight. There's a lot of emails. I think we'll do Chelik Beis and Gimel of Usher's email when the right time comes. The Masechta sponsors, for Shlema, Shmuel ben Chana, Ettel, Yosef Chaim, Shmuel ben Alte Nechama, by the grateful family. I have big news for you, Reb Nachman. Yeah. I'm finally, Be'ez Hashem, getting to meet Reb Dov Hasterer today. Wow. It took 2 years to make a meeting. The Oilam was pushing in this and that, and he comes this today. It's happening today. Think about a good question that I could ask him, or something I can speak to him. We'll talk right after Shiri. Anonymous for that. Açlacha, Baruch, ובגשמיות. Larry Cohn. In memory of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim, who started learning Daf Yomi. I literally had a conversation with my wife last night. I was like, I'm going to go meet Reb David Hafstadter. And she's like, I understand if you want to meet Bibi, like why? And I had to sit and explain to her what he accomplished. And
this is
yeah. Continue for until he's nifter. Anonymous, I don't know. I got an address, I got a time. Show up without cameras, show up then. I'm showing up. Yeah, it looked like it's next to remote. The last name is Shir, the name of the street, something Shir. Anonymous for the unity of the Jewish people. By Glenn Esterson, with love and gratitude from Wilmington, North Carolina. Thank you for enriching my life with Torah. Monthly sponsors: Zechrya ben Moshe, Yosef, the fallen hostages, Ariel ben Shiri. Somebody asked the Shiloh, what's the father's name? We should say the father's name here. Kfir ben Shiri. What's his name? Kfir ben Yarden. Ariel ben Yarden. Shiri bat Margit. Parnasa, Birevach, Baruch, Tzvi Nisim ben Shoshana Leah. By actualize. Kosel sponsors: Yaakov ben Saro, Mishpachta, Lebracha, Ulatzlacha. The weekly sponsors: Lina Nishmas Elio, Zechrya ben Yibadal L'chaim Toivim Arukim Aaron Yaakov Fink. Elio Fink was nifted tragically on 21st of Adar at the age of 43. So the Shom should have an aliyah. Daily sponsors: Mordechai Sapaznik, he's back. Lina Nishmas Menucha Chayo Leo Shambas Amichai. Upon her shloishim, may her neshama have an aliyah, and may her mishpacha have a true nechama. Amen. By Yogi Lushinsky, on the shloishim of my father Reb Moshe Ben Peretz, his neshama should have an aliyah. And thank you for everything you do. Your father has a lot of honor from you in Shemayim. Beretz Chaim Zahav Levin, in honor of the bris of our grandson David Zayman, Keshem Shenichlas the bris, Ke Yikonas Le Torah Le Chuppah Le Masim Toivim Amen. MDY Kids monthly sponsored by Kinnovations, Chus Official, Chana Akiva, Rifki and Mrs. Stefansky. Art of the month, Refuah Shlema for Yehonatan Eitan Ben Basheva Bracha. Should have Refuah Shlema for Chus rebelling the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoy with so many. And in honor of Yossi Klein and Margit for all the work they do, and they do a tremendous amount. Our boys I were holding 16 lines from the bottom. I checked it up. 16 lines in the art scroll in all the other Gemaras. 16 lines. All my Rish Lakish. Here's the question. I always tell the Olam that if you bring one more person to the daf, you tell somebody about the Shiur and they jump on it and they learn, you get their schusim. Does anybody have a raya for that? You get their schusim. They all, the thousands of dafim of Gemara that they learn goes into your bank account. You could double anything. You could achieve X amount in 120 years. You could achieve 10 times more. Talking about Peretz Chaim Levine who's making the bris for his grad. He's going to get 1,000 times more than he could ever have achieved without bringing people to Torah. How do we know it? Oh, Godel Amasi Yosef and Yosef. Beautiful. How do you know today's Gemara? You learned that you pre-learned? You pre-learned? 1 minute. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. How are you? You. How you doing? Yeah. Welcome back. So, that we're going to bring a raya right now. Omar Rish Lakish, Kol HaMelamed es ben chaver Torah. If you teach your friend's son Torah, Malo levakosav kilo asoi. It's as if you created that son. Shenemar v'sanefesh asher osu b'charav. Avram Avinu made nefashos. He created these nefashos by bringing them to Torah. Rebbe Eliezer Omer Kilu Asan L'Divrei Torah. It's as if you created the words of the Torah. Shenemo Shmartem is Divrei Abris Azois V'Asisam Oisam. Rav Amar Kilu Asoy La'atzma. It's as if you created yourself. When you teach your friend, his son, you teach somebody else Torah, you created yourself. Shenemar V'Asisam Oisam Atikri Oisam Ela Atem. It doesn't say it with nekudos. So you can read the same word, Aleph, Taf, Mem, Atem. Atem. Here it is. Here it is. Rabbi said, listen to this. Don't forget this. Especially now we're coming up to Makkas. We got to get rid of thousands of Gemaras that Ari Haas is donating to MDY. If you encourage somebody, encourage someone to do a Dvar Mitzvah. Of course, he says the Kfir. Kfir. Okay, that's a tough one. It's as if you yourself did the mitzvah. You get somebody to shake a lulav, it's as if you shook the lulav. You get somebody to learn Torah, it's as if you learned Torah. I'm not making this up. Everybody thinks, oh, he's biased and he's saying it. I'm emes. You could go out there, and the greatest mitzvah is Torah, so if you have a choice to get somebody to do a lulav, or to learn the daf, you do the daf, because it's every day, and Torah anyways is greater than the lulav, so mela, that's what you should do. Again, when you encourage or force your friend to do a mitzvah, you don't stop. We're talking about Benny last night. A few of us were in a car, we're driving, we're talking about Benny Rodnick, and one of the guys says, wow, that was a good pickup. It was a lot of hard work to get him to come to the Shiri. A lot of hard work, and I have such Chana that I did all the hard work, because look at it. The payers are unbelievable. Even the Shiri in Yerushalayim, right? For sure. That's him. All these things, but I'm going to get credit at the end of the day, and he'll everybody wants a piece of it. You see, he's good. The Olam should want a piece of it. Lo mishaneh. You know what? Whatever. I'm not giving away my credit. I'm not. Whatever Kodesh Baruch Hu decides, but halavai, you should get a lot of credit from it. Halavai. Residuals. Yes. It's what do we call it again? A scheme, a pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme. How do we know this? Because it says, Baruch tells Moshe Rabbeinu, this is the staff that you hit the Yar with. But it's not true. Moshe didn't hit it. Moshe Rabbeinu, I don't know that he forced Aaron. Over here, he asked Aaron to do it. And it's Aaron did the act, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu recognizes it as if that Moshe Rabbeinu himself did the act.
He couldn't do it.
Yeah, okay. You can't learn somebody else's Torah. He does.
He couldn't do
Rabbi Isai, we're learning the Sugi of Apikaris. I hate to tell you that in this room we have a number of Apikarisim. If you're an Apikaris, get over here. I'll tell you why we have Apikarisim in this room. We're going to get there in a second. No, they don't know that. From today on, they're going to do tshuva. If they know what it says in the Gemara, they wouldn't do what they're doing. Here we go. What's Apikaris? Not a guy that says no Rebbeinu Shalom. If you embarrass Talmid Chacham, this is even less. He's not embarrassing the Talmid Chacham. He has respect. But in front of the rabbi, he says something terrible about his friend. That's an Apikaris. You tell me that you're doing it directly to Talmid Chacham. So sorry. If you say that the pshat is that you're doing the lesser level, you're embarrassing a friend in front of the Talmid Chacham. So what's worse than that? Worse than that is to be embarrassed a Talmid Chacham. So what's that called? Megal Panim B'Torah. Megal Panim B'Torah is worse than Apikaris. Apikaris means you have certain ideas in your head. You're not doing anything actively. But Megal Panim B'Torah means you're doing something active. So that's worse, and it fits in nicely. Megal Panim B'Torah means you embarrass the Talmid Chacham. Apikaris means you embarrass your friend in front of a Talmid Chacham. You go, man. But if you do the worst of the worst, which is mevayish a Talmid Chacham, and you're a lesser madriga called Apikaris, so what's Megal Panim B'Torah? What's worse than that? Menashe ben Chizkiah went and made fun of the Torah. He says, why does the Torah talk about the time of the year that the Ruvain took the Dudaim? Who cares that was Ksir Chitim? Who cares about Achois Leighton Timna, that Alifas's concubine was Timna? Who cares about these? Moshe, what, he has nothing better to write? Poking fun of the Torah, that's worse. We get the Master Save, and some say on the Save, the same exact sugi. We're going to go quick. Megal Panim B'Torah. What does it mean to be Megal Panim B'Torah, which is the worst? Rabbi Chanina Machloikes, Amri Zim Vaz Talmid Chacham. I'm sorry, Rabbi Chanina both say that it means the worst of the worst. Make fun of Talmid Chacham. Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Mishlakish. Zam Vaz is Chaveiroi b'fnei Talmid Chacham. Rabbi Shmuel Levi. Sorry, Rabbi Shmuel Levi. Zam Vaz is Chaveiroi b'fnei Talmid Chacham. This is somebody that embarrasses his friend in front of a Talmid Chacham. In other words, the lesser thing. So, if you're saying the worst, to be invited to Talmid Chacham goes together with the worst. Megal upon him, great. So, what's mivazeh chaver? You do the less. Mivazeh chaver, a friend, is the lesser thing called apikaris havi. But if the lesser thing to embarrass your friend is considered the worst, megal upon him, so what's apikaris? What's the lesser thing? Keep going, man. What did they help us? Who needs rabbanim? They do karu, they do tanu. They read for themselves. They learn for themselves. They don't help the dar, and it's wrong. You need the chachamim in the generation. No, that's even worse. That's called somebody that's a megal upon a Torah. Why? Without Torah, I wouldn't have a world. You don't have a world. I could bring you proof from this. In Zdaim, Kosh Baruch tells Avram Avinu, I would save the whole city for the few Talmid Chachamim. Are there any tzaddikim? So. I mean, imagine to yourself, a guy in Zdaim is busy, stretching the bed for the guests, and some guy says, your whole city is because of this and this Talmid Chacham. He's going, sure. He doesn't chap. Yeah, the whole city is because of Talmid Chacham. In about 25 minutes, you're going to disappear from the world. It's going to explode. Why? Because the Talmid Chacham is the one that saves your city. A person sitting and learning Torah in front of his Rebbe, and all of a sudden he remembers another sugya. Didn't we say this over there? And he wasn't careful. And he doesn't say, this is what you said, Rebbe, my master. We said, don't we. You're not a we with your Rebbe. The doctor. Damri Maya Hanulon Rabbanon. Who needs the Rabbanon? What do they help us? Ma'olam Lisharlon Urve V'Leisirlon Yoina. They never said that. We have a picture. They never said that a raven is mutter and that a pigeon is osir. The raven is a better hechsher, better. It's not a chachma to just repeat what the Torah says. They say, of course, everybody knows that a pigeon is kosher. Let me see you say something that's mutter and take it and say that's osir, or something that's osir. You think it's osir and say that's mutter. You have to be mechadish something. You're not mechadish anything. So the Gemara Ravik have a ma'isi treifas the baby yon kamei when they used to for these people when they bring a treif in front of him. When he saw something that he thought maybe he could make a heter out of an iser, so he would show them that he did do a chiddush. I took something that's like a raven, something that's treif, I just made it mutter for you. Adrav, look, the Rabbanan do have chiddushin. And when you think that something is mutter, but he says, it should be aser, I took something that's mutter and I made it aser. Rav Papa Omar, going to Omar, Hani Rabbanon, these rabbis. Person that says these rabbis. So I want to share with you, I'm not a person that shies away from what's happening. Mamish in Yonah D'Yoyma. I want to discuss in Yonah D'Yoyma. I was at a gathering yesterday. A bunch of guys were together, and this thing came up. Did you hear? Aguda answered the WZO. They answered the Eretz HaKodesh. So it became like a whole thing. He says, what do you mean they answered? Why did they answer? What's the big deal? Like I said, because you're pushing. You're saying that you're a Zionist. You have to say you're Zionist. Pushing. So put their button on, became a Zionist. They never contacted you after. It's a whole back and forth. Except with the Gedolim in America, Reb Feldman and Yechiel Cutler, they said it's Osir, Mamish Isu Chomer, it's going with the Zionists. So I'm telling you, I'm just sitting on the side watching this, and this guy says, "What do you mean?" Reb Chaim Kanievsky said, "Zechiyuv." Shmuel Kamenetsky. So no, Reb Feldman said that had Reb Chaim Kanievsky heard the whole thing, that he wouldn't have said. So it's not fair. Then everything Reb Chaim Kanievsky says, you have to erase back and forth. The whole thing, back, forth. And then one guy, it came to a point where one guy said a not nice thing about a gadol in America. So I have Adam here, the people here on the table. I made a clap on the table. I said, "This is mamish aser. This is what the Gemara talks about being mevayis or talmud chacham. These are gdoilei olam. These are gdoilim, and you have your side. You have your camp. You're from here. You believe in this. They believe. You cannot poke fun at a gadol. No, I don't care how upset you are and it doesn't make sense to you and it's this and how can you go like this and like that. You cannot make fun of a gadol b'Yisrael. These are gdoilei olam. And he says, yeah, Rosh, why he said it's chiyuv, and Berkowitz says it's chiyuv, and Rabbi First says it's chiyuv, and Avram Gor says it's chiyuv. Yeah, but they said it's aser, and you have to respect them, and they have to respect you, and everybody respects each other. We're Klal Yisrael, and everybody respects everybody. And we don't talk about Gdolim. This is aser. If you go into Amar Hani Rabbani, just saying these words, who are these rabbis? Who are these rabbis? Obviously, you say because you're upset. Because you don't chop where they're coming from. They're a little bit more Zionistic than me. I'm less than Zionistic. Chutzpah, my neighbor, his kid is in the army. Everybody has their thing. I get it. But you got to calm down and realize these are gdoilei olam. So says the Gemara, Rav Papa Ishtalei, Rav Papa forgot. You have Haredi kids, no? Yogi?
I have kids.
Love it. Yogi, but you understand what I'm talking about over here? You understand the argument?
I heard the whole argument already yesterday.
Okay. What, from your kids? From your kids? One says this way, one says that way? Okay, don't get it. Don't go in. Huh? No comment.
He works at the Kosel.
He doesn't want them to close down the...
He knows that he'll be diplomatic.
Rabbi Ishtale, Rabbi Papa forgot. He once forgot and he said those words. These rabbis. And he felt bad and he sat in a tinus. They were Levi Bar Shmuel and Rav Huna Bar Chia, they were fixing the mantle of the Sefer Torah, what do they call it today? The mantle. Okay. And they're fixing this one and that one. Finally, they get Kimot Megillas Esther. They get to they had Nevi'im. It seems like that. They get to Esther. Everybody has Esther. Amri, and they used the wrong lashon. They said, "Ha Megillas Esther, loy mit pachas." L'chayra, this Megillas Esther. They tell the Rebbe, like they're advising him. This l'chayra doesn't need, right? Amelo kai gavna nami mechzik yapikursa. The way you said it looks like apikursis. Why? Because you should have asked the question. Rebbe, does Megillas Esther need a mantle or not? Don't give your advice. You give your thing, then you're apikoros. Rav Nachman Omar, Zeh hakoirei Rabbi B'Shmoi. Oh, that's why I thought that there's some apikorsim in the room. If you call your Rebbe by his first name,
I'm sorry.
I'm not. No, not you. No, Chas v'Shalom. I wasn't. You asked me. I wasn't looking at you. Seriously.
I'm not.
He's not makbid. I'm also not makbid. What happened yesterday? I said over that a great guy. I love this bacher. He's a great bacher. He's a big Bal Kishrin and a great guy. Everybody knows him. He's a big part of the Shiur. So he comes over to me in the street. You have to understand that here in Eretz Yisrael, it's common. You don't. Young kids go over to adults. They say, Moshe. I'm like, hello, the guy's 70 years old. You don't call him by. They don't have that concept over there. So the guy comes over to me. He says, Eli, can I get accepted to yeshiva? I'm like, you just called me Eli? No, that's it. You're done. You're done. He's like, no, I'm serious. I'm serious too. Anyway, 30 seconds later, somebody screams out. I don't know if it's kiss from Hashem or they did it on purpose, but somebody screams out, Eli! From outside, right? Mark, you were here. Ma'aseh Shaya. Anyway, if you call your Rebbe by his first name, no, because I told people, I told my friends, the people that are my age, I said, call me. I don't like to be called, Rav, Rebbe Eli, this, that. Call me, but younger guy. No, that's something else. Don't call anybody. Seriously, don't call. If you're a younger guy here in Israel, you shouldn't be calling anybody that's older than you by their first name. Don't go over there married Moshe. Doesn't work. It's us chutzniks only. That's how it is here. Fine. Huh?
We had first names.
No, but what does the Talmud call his Rebbe? The Talmud never calls his Rebbe Akiva. He says master, whatever it is. I'm not saying, don't start calling me a master, please. Zachary Rabbi Shmuel. Doma Rabbi Yochanan b'nei Ma Nenesh Gechazi. The worst is, I'm serious, the worst is, there's a few guys that still call me Rosh Hashiva. Like Chaim Dashinsky. Rosh Hashiva. Chill out, dude. First of all, it's closed. Second of all, even if it's open, do not call me that.
What's the future?
Yeah. Doma Rabbi Yochanan b'nei Ma Nenesh Gechazi. They should call it Rabbi Shmuel. Gechazi got punished because he called his Rebbe, the famous Navi Elisha, he called him by his first name. Shenebar v'yomi Gechazi. So what happened over there was that the Gechazi is telling the king all the nisim that Elisha, the Navi, does. Look, and he's telling Mamish a kiss from Hashem. As he's describing the nisim, all of a sudden the woman that he did Tchias HaMesim to her son walks in because somebody grabbed her field, right? She went away on vacation, she comes back, somebody's sitting in her house in the field. So she went to the king. Unbelievable coincidence. As he's saying over the story, he screams out, Zoi Soisha, wow! This nest, this Moifus I told you, here's the kid that came back from death. Asher Hechya Elisha, and he calls him Elisha. That was it. Well, you don't call him Elisha, he's not your friend. Yosef Riri Kamed Rib Zero. Yosef called him also like there's going to be a river that comes out of his Hamikdash, and there's going to be many fruit that come out of this. There's going to be on the bank of the rivers, Mizeh from both sides, called Eitz Machal. Trees full of fruit. The leaves are not going to wither, and the fruit is never going to stop. The water comes out of there, and you're going to eat the fruit, and the leaves are going to be litrufa. Seems like medicine. Says the old man, Yishar. Oh, you said a great pshat. He tells the Tana, you said great. And the Rabbi Yochanan also said this. Doesn't this look like apikursus? What is he giving you a haskama to your pshat? Who is he? No. He's being nice. He's saying, oh, the Margit pshat. I don't know. Sometimes it's a machlekes. Tosfos says sometimes. I don't know. But either way, it doesn't seem like it's over here. He's gonna say to Eliyahu Navi or Apikoros. He's saying that this is kigahai gavna. Maybe if it's Eliyahu Navi, what Eliyahu Navi said, those kind of words seem like Apikoros if it was somebody else. Okay, could be Eliyahu Navi. Tosfos says Eliyahu Navi, and sometimes he says it's not. Eli Shmuel. The famous story that we had in Baba Bas, we just had it. Rabbi Yochanan said, Agadata, and he gave it drasha. Also, that Kosh Baruch is going to bring these very expensive stones. Each one is 60 feet by 60 feet. And he's going to cut a 10 by 20 amma, or in English, in America, a 20 by 40 opening feet. He's going to put them in the gateways of Yerushalayim. So the Talmud made fun of this. Crazy, what guzmois and agada. Omar. We can't even find a gem that's this big, the size of a small egg of a bird, of a dove, or whatever it is, a bird. You're going to find something that's 60 feet large. It's impossible. This Talmud was in the ocean. He saw that they are cutting these stones as so. Omar Lo, he asked these malachim, what's going on here? Amri, they're going to be in the gateways of Yerushalayim. So later on, this Talmud bumps into Rabbi Yochanan, Bekadarish, and Rabbi Yochanan is darshaning. Amalei. So the Talmud screams out, Rebbe, Droish, you should continue darshaning. It's beautiful what you're saying. What you said in that Gadita, that Guzma, I saw it. So Rabbi Yochanan chapped. What do you mean droish? That means, now I could darshan. Before you weren't so happy with my drosh. Now, Amalei Reika, you empty one. If you wouldn't have seen it with your own eyes, you wouldn't have believed what I said. That's called men laglig al divrei chachamim. You are a person who's making fun of divrei chachamim. By the way, I have to show you. This is the Margolios. Tomorrow, 1 hour early. Oh, tomorrow they're changing the clock tonight. Oh, very good. Hold on. This is the thing. Rabbi said tonight we're changing the clock, and therefore Shiur is going to be an hour earlier than today, but I'll pee the clock at the same time, 7:10 with the new clock. Motzei Shabbos though, Shiur is at 10 o'clock. Motzei Shabbos, Shiur at 10. And that means for the Israelis, for Hebrew speakers, Shiur is at 11. And that's just this week. It's going to get later.
So Rabbi Yochanan looked at him.
So we even have a shtickle picture here. Here's the guy, the Ligla guy. I'm going to bring you, and you're going to be very tall. You're going to be super high. How tall are people going to be? They're going to be 200 amma. So what's this 20 amma doorway that is going to be lost of love? This is not going to work for us. If we're going to be super tall, and this doorway, this is for later. I showed it a little bit too early. This. So, how can you have a doorway of 20 amma when people are going to be 200 amma tall? It says Gemara, they're going to be double the height of Adam Rishon, who was 100 amma. Everybody's going to be 100 amma tall. Like the Heichal. Where's the Heichal over here? Here, the Heichal is 100 amma tall, but also Rashi says he brings a cheshbon that's 100 amma long. Shenemar shabonenu kinetim gudol benureim b'noi seinu chezavi ois mechutava istavnis seicha ezavenu minenam da-da-di-da-da-da-dam. In America, they what? Here, a lot of people in Israel, Litvish, Yerushalmi, Motzei Shabbos, before Ma'ariv, this is what they sing. So, Kikomer Rabbi Yochanan, he was talking about the windows. He wasn't talking about the doorways. Yeah, the doorways, here's the doorway, it's going to be 200 amma. The windows are going to be 20 amma to bring air in. The bezika for wind, for my valel trufa. What does it mean, valel trufa? Now the word trufa, just pay attention, for the whole sugya is 2 words. True, fa, or pe. True, pe. It's to heal the upper mouth. To heal the lower mouth. The same pshat. What does it mean? To make a person who can't speak, speak. A woman who can't give birth, she'll give birth. Is talking about medicine. You take these leaves and it's medicine. To the beauty of a person's face, to make him those who, what's baliyapeh? Those who learn Torah? Those who learn Torah. If a person, his face becomes dark from lack of malnutrition, lack of food, lack of whatever, and his face becomes black because he's learning Torah, you're going to have a glow, a ruchnistic glow in Olam Haba. If you starve yourself, like the Bachrim in the yeshivas in Europe, they used to starve. They had a little tag from people, but they were mamish hungry. You do this, Baruch Hu masbir Olam Haba, will have unbelievable chef in Olam Haba. Shenema yirvim deshem yisecha v'nachal adonechot sashkein. Kosel Ravdimi Omar, also Baruch Hu lidin l'chol tzadik tzadik m'lo yomsei. Baruch Hu is going to go like this and give every tzaddik this amount. So the problem that Gemara has with this twice is, how is it possible for somebody to have this much of a Kodesh Baruch Hu? The whole world is only this much of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. This is much more than this. So how can Kodesh Baruch Hu give somebody in this world more than the whole world can contain? It's impossible. How's it possible? B'shomayim bezeres. This is zeres. This is the zeres from here to here. So the world was made from this amount. So how could HaKadosh Baruch Hu give you this amount? At the Siyum, Ramayel Biderman said the story that there was a Yerushalmi kid that his mother sent him to the grocery store to buy a cucumber and a tomato. And the kid gets to the grocery store, he buys the cucumber and tomato, and as he's going out, he sees the whole thing of chocolate, and just staring at it like this. And he's staring and staring, and the owner of the store started, his heart was melting. He's like, kid, what do you want? He wouldn't say anything. He says, take. He didn't take. He just kept on looking and looking. So the owner of the store goes, grabs two handfuls, puts in a bag, and says, go, take this home. And the kid went. He comes home. The mother sees the tomato and the cucumber and a whole bag of chocolate. She says, what's this? You got? He says, the store owner gave it to me. She didn't really trust him, so she goes back to the store. And he said, I saw your son here, I told him to take. He didn't want to take, so I gave it. So she looks at her son, she says, when he told you to take, how come you didn't take? He said, because my hand is this small. I wanted him to give me with his hands. So he says, that's what it means in the pasuk, Yotcha hameleya hapsucha, hagdoisha v'chavi. I want, you ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I don't want in my musagim. I want yotcha, your hand, hameleya hapsucha. V'seches yodecha, yeah. He says, if you would have been, when we were learning Agadta in Yeshiva, you wouldn't have a kasha. Again, his kasha is, how could HaKadosh Baruch Hu give that much when the whole world is only this size? Don't worry about it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give you Shaya Lamas 310. You'll have plenty of planets to put all your stuff on. Which is saying yesh begematria. The word yesh is plus meya v'asara have is 310 worlds. The way you give to a poor person, that's how HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives back. It says Rashi, if you take out of your hand like this, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you like this, but it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu's this, not your little tiny hand. It's his hand. The way you give tzedakah, you hear it? The way you give tzedakah, when it's hard and you give, or you give a larger amount, you give. If you give a shekel, you yaitzazayin. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is yaitzazayin also. You come up there, yaitzazayin. The chsiv, I'm not saying, no, don't get me wrong. Certain people, I got it. I'm not going into that now. Yeah. No, those who give shekels at shul, I think they're l'malu me'aver. Like sometimes you like just not in the mood for certain individuals, whatever. You give a shekel, you're tzaddik yisoy olam. B'sasa b'shalchat rivena. It says in the pasuk, b'sasa. Sasa is a lashon of sa'a, right? At the end of the word, sa'a. That when HaKadosh Baruch Hu said He's going to punish them, He's going to send them out with a punishment, but it's a certain amount. B'sasa. Omer Rebbe Yeshua. Same question that Abaya had. How is it possible to give more than a person gives a full hand to a poor person in this world. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives his full hand in Olam Haba. Yeah, it's the same question. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the whole world with a certain amount. This is the size of the world, and you're going to say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give triple, quadruple that? So he says, you have to say that. Why? What's a greater midah? The good or the bad? You have to say that the midah tova is meruba. Everybody knows. It says that how much? 500. 500. 500. The Gemara doesn't bring that. The Gemara says something else. HaKadosh Baruch commanded the skies, shchokim the skies, and the doors of the heaven He opened up. And what did He do? That's where the monk came out of. That's a good thing. But when it comes to the bad, only the windows open. Varuba is the windows. And Rashi says, a window, every door has 4 windows. So Mela, Midas Tov is at least 4 times the Midas Paranas. Turn to the Daf. By our global experts in international financial services, by doctors Alan and Barbara Listhouse. And Mary, my dear father, Joseph Listhouse on his 45th yard side, Mordechai Yosef ben Ariel, all that shalom. Lirfo is Rivka hen yo bas shulamis. Well, first Atinu Gechaz Yedid ben Nechama Shendel. Now, if you're Bet Shemesh and Moshe Einon in honor of Reb Eli and the entire MDY family, Yogi, you coming with us on the safari?
Convince the wife.
You can bring her.
I know. I have to convince.
Now we're allowing the wives now. Because my wife wanted to come, so we started to allow wives. Not mamish like that, but whatever. You can say whatever you want. We're not going to tell anybody other wife. There's people here that want to come without their wives, so we're not telling you the Olam. We're not going to be Mefarsim. L'shma. I was doing L'shma.
Yesterday you were talking about L'shma.
When you bring your wife, it's mamish L'shma. This we're on a sieve. We figure out Noshim HaPoshim B. We're going to have to bring a special person to give them shiurim when the guys want to hang out at night. This is what you guys do. No, we're going to learn now. And you guys have a shiur. It says by the bad stuff. Listen to this. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to kill by the Mechemes Gog and Magog, all the soldiers, they're going to die. Pigrei Anoshim, they're dead. But listen to this. The worms that eat the body are never going to die. This is a terrible thing. Their bodies are going to burn and burn and burn. How long could a fire last? For 5 minutes, 10 minutes? No. For many months, it's going to burn their body. In other words, they're going to be in constant pain and oynish, these people. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can do it. So the Gemara, you put your finger in a fire for a millisecond, you get burnt. Elo, HaKadosh Baruch has the ability to get the Russia to feel the physical pain for a very long time. Your question is, how could you get this much good from HaKadosh Baruch Hu? He has a way, don't worry about it. He'll figure it out. Even though the world is this small and He gave you that much, He'll figure out how you're going to get the taiva. Even if you read outside books, you don't have a chelik l'olam. What does that mean? It's talking about heretic books that are kfir. What does it say about you? Tzedukim, minim, right? The censor, yeah. Rabbi Yosef Omar, B'Sefer Ben Sira, Nami also the Mikri. So there's a famous book called Ben Sira. There are those who say even that he is the son of Yirmiyah, he was born through the mikvah, whatever. There are those who say. There's some that say he was Christian. He wrote it to prove that it's possible to be born through a higher thing, whatever. Not going to go. However, the Gemara brings Ben Sira a lot. He has Divrei Chachma, and once in a while, the Gemara throws a quote. But the Gemara here says that if you read it, now, there's an interesting Yerushalmi I just want to point out. The Yerushalmi says that the only Sifrei Chitzonim that you're not allowed to read, it's not referring to Harry Potter and Chves or real Sifrei Chitzonim. It's only referring to two books, Ben Sira and Ben Lana. Why? Because in the time of Chazal, they had to differentiate between what's mutter to read, what's considered a Navi, and what's not a Navi. So this is Yirmiyah, Yeshaya, Ben Sira, no. So it was only these two books. That's what the Yerushalmi says. In fact, in the Dead Sea Scrolls, when they found, that's what I heard. I don't know. I didn't see it with my own eyes. I could ask my shver who had his hands on the Dead Sea Scroll in Chicago, and he lost it. Different stories for a different time. $60 million. Bye-bye. Today, back then, they didn't have. They gave him a Dead Sea Scroll. He was a student, and he was doing this. He lost it. He lost it. Okay. Now there's less Dead Sea Scrolls. Now there's going to be a Hafganah in front of his house. How did it? Supposedly in the Dead Sea Scrolls, there's a few extra prokim in Yeshaya. And that's what the Chacham said, no, those prokim do not belong in the Navi. These do. That's what they want to say. Anyway, that's what the Yerushalmi says. Says Gemara, now we have to understand why not. What's wrong with the Ben Sira?
It's because of the Torah. It's Bittul Torah, he says.
Yeah, so Rashi says, is of the opinion that this is Bittul Torah. So if that's the case, so Harry Potter is Mamash Asur. Sure. And YouTube is a Shaila.
You want to clarify?
I don't think there's any clarification necessary. If reading books is asur, watching YouTube shorts is vadei asur. But if you watch Shiurim on YouTube, it's a mitzvah d'oraisa and it's a mitzvah gadol. Whoever didn't understand the first time, okay, there's a few people. Every time I say something, I get an email. You weren't serious when you said that, because that's terrible. No, I wasn't serious. I don't get your humor, a guy writes to me. Certain people cannot watch my shiur. Sorry. It says in Ben Sira. So you think, this is not a regular book. It says, do not remove the skin of a fish off his ear, meaning off his gills. How do you say gill in Hebrew? Zimimim. Zimim. It's a crazy word that one or two people knew. Zimim. Gills. Zimim. Why? Because you're a scuba diver, so you know this stuff? I'm named after a gill. Ah, you're a gill. Ishkoyach. One guy knew it. His name is Gil. Zimim. Is that so? Your Hebrew name is Zimim? No. Gildin Amudne. Do not remove the skin. You shouldn't just dispose of the skin for no reason. It's mamish. What do you call it? Baltashchis. Look, I noticed in Parashat Pekudei today, this week's parasha, it says Vesmichsei in Revi Vesmichsei Oiros Ha'elim Hama'adamim. Isn't this week? So the uncle says V'yaschifadim Mashchei. Mashchei is a lotion of skin, of hide. Elo tzliyosei benuro veichol. Do not get rid of it. You should roast it and put it in the fire. Veichol bei tartin gritzin. Should eat it with two breads. It'll be the shmear of two breads. Says Gemara imipashta. You're just going to read it simple. But right now makes it says in our Torah too. Loisashchis is eight, so you're not allowed to destroy things for no reason, even trees. So no fish. So what's the big deal to read Ben Sira? No big deal. Imidrasha, and you want to darshan what he says. That what he's teaching you oirach ara. Come on, he's teaching you regular, normal human behavior. That what? The leilivo shaloi kedarka. A person shouldn't have relations shaloi kedarka. It's not a normal thing to do. So big deal. So he said it. So what's wrong with reading it? Maybe another verse over there. When a person has a daughter, it's how do you say? The box that you find, the treasure. It's a false treasure. Why? A father never sleeps at night when he has a daughter. When she's younger, you're worried that she's going to do something wrong. She's going to be mefuta. Ben Harusa, when she gets older, she'll have znus. Bagra, when she gets to be begerish, shemalei tinasa. You're worried about the shidduchim. Nisis, when she gets married, shemalei lebanim. You're worried, maybe she won't have children. Hiskina, shematasik shafim. Why? Because the pshat I saw is, here, check this out, Rabbi Isai, check this out. When she gets older, Oh, I said weiter. That's a weiter thing. Let's speed it up. Because a person, a woman who's married without children, her husband might divorce her. So she has to do kishuv to get her husband to stay with her. His skin Hashem dazik shafim. Ha Rabbanan nami amrua. Rabbanan also says something. If shaloi lo b'lo scharim u'b'lo nikevais. Ashri misha b'arim zcharim. I see Shamshi like he doesn't know what to do over here. Ashri misha b'arim zcharim. Oy lo misha b'arim nikevais. No, because he walked in the Bismarck yesterday and I was singing Mordechai Ginnigan. Oy Ashrei misha b'arim zcharim. Oy Ashrei misha b'arim. Only solo? Zcharim. Oy Ashrei misha.
Only you.
Oh. So the pshat is, the Chassidim like to say, Oile Misha Banav Nekevos. So the Chassidim love to say, when your sons act like Nekevos, when they shave, when they have a chup, they look in the mirror, that person should have somebody like that, a kid like that. It says, in Ben Siro, you shouldn't have any tsar in your heart. Why? The Gavri Giborin Kotel Davya. It just is occurring to me that almost every single person I know that has the machla or had the machla is somebody that I know that has a lot of stress and anxiety in their life. I'm not saying I'm not a doctor and I don't know, just usually you see people that are under a lot of pressure and all of a sudden they get a machla. He says Ben Siro, the Gavri Gibarim, very strong people, Kotel Davya. The tsar kills them. Hoshleim Amara. It's not a big chiddush. The dago belevish, yashchena. The worries in a person's heart, yashchena, with a shin. So this is machlokes in where you put the nekuda here. The article says it with a shin. The other Gemaras say it with a sin. Yasicheno medaitoi. My Gemara over here says with a sin, so I'm going to say it like that. Yasicheno is a lotion of siach with a samach. You should be mesiach das. Get rid of it. Throw it away. If you have a daiga, get rid of it. V'chadomar yisicheno la'acherim. Reminds me, when I had a certain property that the taxes doubled. So the taxes went up. Let's say, I want to say close to $500,000 on the properties in Indianapolis. And it was in 2010, it was Nervayim then, it was crazy. All of a sudden the government, we doubled. That means shut down, give back the properties, give them back to the bank. You can't do anything about it. That's all your profits is everything, more than your profit. You can't survive like that. And in the middle of the night, I had heart palpitation, like mamish. And I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I thought I'm having a heart attack. Another night. So I went to a heart specialist. And he tells me, he says, I had the same exact thing when I moved practices. I went from here to there, I opened up my own thing. In the middle of the night, he says, it's all in here. It's all in your head. And I walked out of his office. I never had that again for the rest of my life. Never had a heart palpitation, Baruch Hashem, because it's in your head. It's pushed in the head. So it says, I'm just thinking now, Chadoma Yisichenem Daitai. What does it mean Yisichenem? Oh, get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's pushed in your head. If you could tell yourself, this is in your head, do not worry about it. Whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu does, He does. You're going to lose your pride, but you don't fret about it. Because if you think about it, it's going to wake you up in the middle of the night. Noam told me he was waking up in the middle of the night from heart palpitations because of the yeshiva. He was so stressed out from the yeshiva that it was waking him up. But it's in the head. You got to talk it out to your friends or to your shrink. Sit on the couch. You should, people that you don't have anything to do with, don't let them in your house. Even people that you do have to do with them, don't let them in your house, so many of them. Rebbe said this. The Sanhedrin, Rebbe Omer. What?
Talk to them outside.
Yeah. Don't let them in your house. Talk to them outside. The Sanhedrin, Rebbe Omer. Don't allow a lot of people in your house. It's bad. It's bad. I love this Gemara. Zaldikan. Dikan means a beard. If a person has a zaldikan, it's a shvacha beard. Something like this, let's say. A zaldikan. He's kurtamon. He's a big chacham. Avdikan. Zal means zol, right? Av means thick. If a guy has a thick beard, sichson. He's mamish a shoita. Shoita. Nafach bikase loitzache. A guy who blows the the foam off his beer, he's not thirsty. He has plenty of time on his hand. That means he's not. If he's thirsty, he's just grabbing it with the foam. Omar b'mayechol lachma. If a person is worried about what shmir he's going to put on his bread, is it peanut butter, is it hummus, lachma savine, just grab the bread from him. He's not hungry. He's too busy thinking about other stuff. Man deisle ma barte bedikne. Oh, this is Margit. If a person has, I love this. This is mamish one of the favorites. Look at this guy. He has a right and a left. Some let's said this is called a mahadrim beard. He has the right side is for the male lice and the left side is for the female lice. Okay, fine. So he's busy. He's busy going like this. You know those guys? They're schlepping. The amount of things in thought. They're schlepping until the whole middle doesn't exist anymore, but the sides exist. No, but Ben Sir says these are simanim for smartness, for not smartness. No, this is shtusim. So you're going to read shtusim. It's bittul Torah. You're not allowed to read it. Or Rav Yosef this way darshinamu. But the great stuff in it, you could darshan. So the Ritva asks, it's obvious. How do you know about the good stuff? You're not allowed to read it. Okay. He says you're allowed to read it if you're reading the whole thing just to find the good stuff and not to waste your time. Isha toiva. If you have a good wife, matana toiva, that's a great gift from Hashem. Hashem gave it to you. Yirei shamayim. Isha ra. You have a bad wife, tzaras labalo. That's like tzaras. What you do? You go sheno mebeisoy. Yisrapim mitzaratoi. Don't take this literally, Rabbi Isai. Or maybe you should, but don't tell me about it. I learned, it's mamish changed my life. I ran home and I divorced my wife. Get rid of that tzaras. Isha yafa ashri bala. Praiseworthy is the husband. Mispar yom of kiflaim. There's a Margit Rashi here. Rashi says, I might have put it in there, that if you have a beautiful wife because you have anah, your hana, miroiv hana, says Rashi, it's as if you have a double life. Rashi says a person that enjoys himself in life has a double life. A person that has no hana, the opposite, has a half a life. It's all relative. To a person that works half the speed, has half a life. A person that enjoys, other than not dafka wife, you can enjoy Torah, whatever. You double your life.
So you get more hana going 2 times?
Huh?
Listening to the
Avada, you have ein l'shar, the hana you have. Halam ein l'chamesh. Keep your eyes away from the Ishes Ish. You might get trapped in her trap. Don't go to the husband and pretend that you want to help him out with the wine when your eyes on her. Because of a beautiful woman, many people were destroyed. And she killed many, meaning in Olam Haba, many people lost their Olam Haba because of Ishes Ish. The peddler who sells things to married women, so they get beat up a lot. Why? Because the husband comes and he finds the guy in the house and he's chosh the guy, so he beats him up. Somebody is margil other people for erva. Kinizis ma'av gechelas is like a spark that starts the gechelas. Kichluv moli oif kematei melei mirma. Fine, well, I guess we'll stop over here, even though it's the middle of a sugi, but it's already, I didn't have how late it is. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day. Tomorrow, don't forget, we're changing the clocks tonight.